Securing your seed or Series A funding is not the finish line. The moment that capital hits your bank account, the clock starts. Investors demand progress, customers expect innovation, and the pressure to execute begins. You need a technical team to build the product, and you need them to start yesterday. That pressure often forces founders into making rushed, compromised hiring decisions just to get bodies in seats. Treating technical hiring as a slow, administrative chore rather than a strategic maneuver is the most effective way to kill a new company. It leads directly to runway burn. This chart illustrates the runway trap. Watch how capital decreases over a 12-month timeline. During this initial 3-month hiring block, product output remains at absolute zero. You are paying heavily simply to wait. A 3-month delay on the roadmap results in lost revenue and erodes the confidence of the investors who just trusted you with their capital. The biggest threat to a newly funded startup is rarely a lack of capital. It is the months wasted attempting to figure out how to deploy it. The most common structural error founders make right out of the gate is assuming that every technical requirement demands a permanent, full-time W-2 employee. The logic behind this approach seems sound at first glance. A full-time hire promises total exclusivity and a sense of long-term stability for your engineering department. The trade-off is steep. You end up bloating your early payroll for specialized, temporary work. Setting up your initial cloud architecture is critical, but it does not require a permanent engineer sitting on salary for the next 3 years. Locking yourself into permanent hires for temporary execution phases creates rigid financial liabilities. It shortens your actual survival window by burning cash on idle capacity. Most founders evaluate their hiring options and conclude they only have 2 extremes to choose from: slow safety or fast chaos. This matrix evaluates models on deployment time, vetting burden, and quality. Traditional recruitment offers loyalty, but cycles consume capital for months before shipping. Open freelance provides immediate access to talent, but the trade-off for speed is the entire technical vetting burden falls directly on you. If you are not a practicing expert in cybersecurity or DevOps, verifying those skills on your own is risky. Relying on an unassisted vetting process often results in total project restarts months down the line, when an unverified hire fails to deliver. Traditional hiring sacrifices safety for speed. Open freelance sacrifices safety for speed. Neither option is viable when your runway is shrinking daily. A third path exists: platforms built around AI-vetted technical specialists. The benefit is immediate deployment of confirmed niche skills without absorbing the heavy vetting burden yourself. You sacrifice the perceived permanence of a W-2 employee in exchange for guaranteed execution speed and operational flexibility. This schematic shows AI verification acting as a shield. It filters unqualified candidates before you see a profile, ensuring engagement with only verified specialists. Outsourcing your technical verification risk to an AI platform prevents costly mishires and stretches your remaining runway. Finding the right engineer solves the sourcing problem, but it does not solve execution. Without a secure, managed environment to build in, projects still stall. Safe execution requires specific operational inputs: built-in video conferencing to align goals, escrow payments to protect your capital, and direct founder support when needed. Combining these tools creates centralized project management. It keeps all communication, code reviews, and deliverables within one unified, trackable workflow. The operational trade-off is that your internal team must adapt. They have to work within this specific, integrated platform ecosystem rather than relying on fragmented, self-selected recruitment tools. A structured, platform-protected workflow is the critical mechanism that translates verified technical expertise into measurable product releases. Moving from funding to product delivery without organizational drag requires a precise hiring roadmap. This decision flowchart outlines the roadmap. When a new role is needed, start with the primary question: is this a long-term executive role? If yes, pursue traditional hiring. Strategic leadership still demands thorough, relationship-based recruitment. If no, ask if the requirement is specialized project execution. Niche requirements, like mapping cloud architecture or a development sprint, trigger a different path. This leads to a vetted specialist platform. Scoping exact expertise prevents hiring generalists just to learn on your dime. Following a rigid execution roadmap ensures you build the exact team required at the right time, rather than defaulting to maximum headcount. The vetted platform model is specifically optimized for non-technical founders. If you lack the internal engineering background to accurately evaluate highly specialized, niche technical skills, outsourcing that verification is mandatory. It is equally critical for time-poor, bootstrapped founders with short runways. To maximize return on every dollar, you cannot afford trial and error interviewing. For these founders, the transition to execution must be instantaneous. The final reality check you must ask before spending $1 of investment is this: is my current hiring process actively delaying my product development? Execution, not headcount, creates startup success. Prioritizing verified expertise allows you to transition from funding to product release smoothly, efficiently, and with zero noise.